Hello, everybody. Welcome to Planet SkyFF, the world where everything revolves around £50,000. Did I get that right, Suj? My name's James, and Suj is on holiday, so I'm trying to do the intro this week. I have got the guest of guests lined up for you today, guys. Let me introduce you to, in case you live under a rock, Ian Parrin at Planet Sky on Twitter. How are you, Ian?
Very well indeed. Thank you, James. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well. Thank you, mate. Thoroughly excited to have you on with us for the first time.
Glad to be here.
Thank you. I'm sure all the Sky listeners do know who you are, but just in case they don't, who are you?
Yeah, it's Ian Parrin at Planit Sky on Twitter, and I do the transfer planners for Fantasy Football Hub.
I feel like it's a little bit more elaborate than that. Can you just clarify for the listeners as well that you work for Hub, right? You don't work for us. Planet Sky is with an I and not with an
That
E,
is
right?
very true, yeah. Planit Sky, yeah.
You are one of the most fascinating minds I know. When you go on with Fergie and Paul on Hub and the guys there, it's must tune in and listen to what Ian's got planned from a strategy perspective. I want to get into the mind a little bit of how you work, because I like to fancy myself a little bit in terms of, I think this fixture might go there, but I can't do what you do and predict that, yep, Tottenham and Arsenal looks like it's going to be a Thursday night in match week 36. So I want to get into the mind and understand a bit more how that works for you.
Okay. Well, I guess over the years, I've always been a bit of a TV or radio, media, sports nut. So it's not just watching the games. I've always been fascinated about how they've been covered as well. So that gets me into Sky and into BT and into Amazon, how the devious workings of the media moguls go. And it tends to lead down various different tracks of where these matches get positioned.
Ian sent me a message about 20 to midnight last Wednesday, and we should probably clarify at this stage, we're pre-recording this on Tuesday, just in case someone gets injured late on in the internationals and we haven't got the info. Ian sent me a message 20 to midnight last Wednesday and said, I think BT have played it well enough to get either Liverpool or more likely City with a second pick in 36. How do you know that?
Well, there's only so many first and second picks that are available.
So talk to me about that first, in terms of, because my understanding is that between the two companies, and let's move Amazon out the way for a moment because they won't have any more games. Between BT and Sky, am I right in saying BT have to show every club at least once? Is that
at least once? Yeah.
Yeah. And is it Sky? It's not 12, is it? How many is it for Sky? Is it?
I don't know how many the minimum is for Sky.
I think teams have to be on across the season via all the channels.
They have to be
12
picked,
times,
I think, in every package.
Okay.
And there's 5 different Sky packages and one different BT package, or is it 4? Might be 1 and 4.
So what Ian's referring to there is basically BT has the Saturday lunch times.
It does.
The rest of the packages are Saturday night, the 2 Sunday slots, and then
either Monday or Friday. That's right. Yep. And the first picks go to Sky, and they're split between Sunday afternoon at 4:30 and Saturday afternoon at 5:30. I think they're 19 and 15 for the 34 first picks.
So Sky have first pick only 19 times. Is that right?
19 times on Sunday at 4:30 and 15 times on Saturday at 5:30.
So BT never has first pick.
BT never get a first pick.
Which is why you'll never get like Liverpool v Man United on BT, for example.
Correct. Because it doesn't matter where they are in the league or where the state of the season is, they will always be picked by Sky. It's the biggest game going.
My assumption was that BT must have some first picks, like they've had Chelsea and Man City twice this year.
No, it's not a first pick. It'll be a second pick.
Why wouldn't Sky have it as the first pick and shove it on the Saturday 5:30?
Because they have to show certain different games, and they like to let BT have a little bit of rope to try and hang themselves. Because it's not just the minimums, there's a maximum as well.
So the BT always have the second pick then?
It's second pick. They get 20 second picks for the 12:30 on Saturday. The other second picks are 2:00 on Sunday for Sky.
Right. So when Sky probably have their big double headers on a Sundays, let's just say I hypothetically Manchester Derby and Merseyside Derby, that's probably a weekend they've booked in first and second pick.
Correct. Yeah. And what they'll have probably done is pick those, and then the other BT picks can be a fifth pick on the Saturday. So if they've got 34 games, I don't know if they have, but say there's 34. So I think that works about right, doesn't it? Because there's 2 Amazon rounds
and there's 2 BT midweeks where they get
rounds.
everything.
So there's 34 weekend rounds. So what's happened here is we get to week 36, 37, and 38 in FPL terms.
Yeah.
And 38's always left, and you can pick whatever you like, so they're all played at the same time. So we know now we're up to 35. First week of May has been picked, and there's 2 rounds still left to pick.
Yeah.
And then Sky are going to pick first. And the big game in 36 is Liverpool v Tottenham. So they're going to pick it.
Yeah, sounds the reason.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be picked on the 5:30 Saturday slot because there's still first picks available in that slot to go.
And also, obviously, importantly, at the moment, that midweek, in terms of there's a knock on in terms of what fixtures they'll then show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's right.
Yeah.
So that then leaves BT with a second pick, and fortunately, they've picked only Arsenal are maxed out. They've only had 6 Arsenal games on the Saturday lunchtime. So that means the 5 picks they've had are Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Manchester United.
So they, just to come back a step there, they can't have a team on more than 6.
6 is the maximum in that slot.
Okay. So I guess that goes back in terms of using them when BT had City and Chelsea twice. They've used them twice, basically.
Correct.
Together. I see. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I think BT, with the second pick on the Saturday in week 36, are going to go for Manchester City v Newcastle because they can.
Yeah.
Makes sense. They know it can guarantee to go into that Saturday lunchtime slot.
Yeah, correct.
Because if they pick teams that can't go in Saturday, they have to show them at midday on Sunday. And I don't think they like that slot at all. I don't think they get anywhere near the same viewers.
Makes sense. How do we know at this stage, though, that BT haven't already used their second pick? So I'm just going back in time here. And I think commonly in the running, it feels like if there's 2 teams going for the title, it feels like nearly all the way through they're on Sky. It feels. I've always had the feeling that Sky would leave, say, like your first and second picks on the Sunday. Sky would always make sure in the running they've got the first and the second picks. But I guess you've worked out that that's not the case.
It's not the case this time round. I think BT have played it a little bit cuter.
Okay, go on. Let me get in your mind, mate.
Because normally they get bunted out for the end of the season, which means that Sky always show everything in May that's really important.
Yeah, exactly.
So what BT have done this year, they've sort of played a bit of a longer game. They've started off really strong. In August, they get Manchester United on, they get Liverpool on, they get Tottenham on, they get City on, they get Arsenal on, because that's when you sell your year-long subs. And then they've sort of tried to do, what they tend to try and do is get a big side away to either a lower side or a middling side, or if they're lucky enough to get a good second pick, or depends on how the fixtures go, then they stick that on.
Yeah, like next week, 31, match week 31 is like Everton versus United, isn't it?
It is,
That's like a typical BT selection.
That's their kind of game, isn't it? Yeah. And they've been fortunate enough the week after that to get Arsenal v Man United. Because Liverpool v Everton was first picked by Sky. Now, previously, Man United v Arsenal would have been a Sky first pick.
Yeah.
But it shows how sort of down the pecking order they've gone now is that Sky decided Liverpool v Everton, that's going to be our game, first pick that week.
Yeah, I guess that's because of the title race.
It is, yeah.
Wales had an impact on that.
It is, yeah. But it's not, I can't remember the last time Arsenal v Man United was not on Sky.
With that as well, was that quite complicated in the sense that when those fixtures were announced, it was unknown, obviously, if United were in or out the Champions League, I think. Would that have had an impact on it as well?
I don't think that's necessarily had so much of an impact on what's been picked where, because that Liverpool v Everton game can still get moved back to the Saturday if Liverpool are playing the next round of the Champions League on a Tuesday.
Okay, yeah.
If Man United is still in the Champions League,
Liverpool will switch to the Saturday, won't it? With Brentford, Tottenham, isn't it?
It is, yeah. They'll switch to the Sunday.
Yeah.
So that game there, Arsenal v Man United, was always going to be a Saturday lunchtime kickoff if they wanted to, because it wouldn't make any difference if Man United were in the Champions League on the Tuesday, because Tuesday is fine to play.
So there's times, Ian, where I'll do the schedule, and I've got my own planner. It's not too dissimilar to yours, and I'll predict the fixtures in advance, etc. But not quite to the extent you will, because I can look ahead. And let's use an example early in the season and go, right, it can only be 3 games on the Friday. But invariably, you'll put your neck out on Hub and go, I think it'll be this one. Explain why. And afterwards, I've gone, but why is it that one? Does it come back to the amount of times the team's selected? Is that where
teams
your
can be selected
works?
And when they get selected? And you remember back earlier in the season, we had Southampton v Aston Villa on a Friday night game, which was very, very strange that Sky decided they want to show that game. And the reason they did, I think it was Southampton hadn't been selected at that stage by BT at all. And it looked like a prime game for BT to be able to get on Saturday lunchtime with a 5th pick to cover off the minimum quotas. And so Sky thought, well, we'll muck their plans up. We'll pick it on a 4th pick or whatever it was on a Friday night. And then Southampton had to be picked later on in the season by BT that suited the time for Sky.
Yeah, it's clever how they stitch each other up. But the most obvious case this season was the Brentford versus Everton selection.
Brentford, Everton, yeah.
Is that the most obvious case of this season?
Yes, definitely.
Where was it? BT had all the midweek games, I think, afterwards. You might correct me and say it was Amazon.
It might have been Amazon, but it was one or the other. I think it was Amazon.
But basically, to cut a long story short, Sky put Brentford and Everton on at 2:00 on the Sunday, when there were loads of teams who were involved in like the Europa League. It would have naturally fit there. Tottenham, West Ham, Leicester and stuff, who had, I think, had decent fixtures.
It was good games.
Yeah.
Everybody apart from Everton v Brentford.
Basically, but they still went with Brentford Everton. You've gone, well, you've got all them available fixtures. Why have you done it? And the reason they went with Brentford Everton was so that I'm sure it was BT, so that they couldn't show Everton versus Liverpool on the Tuesday.
On the Tuesday.
It meant that they were stuck with, I think it was Leeds, Palace and Newcastle.
It was Leeds,
Norwich.
Palace, and that was a dire watch. I remember sitting through it, cursing all the time. So the next day was Liverpool v Everton and also Villa v Man City, straight after Gerrard had been made manager.
Right,
yeah. So, they'll Sky, in my opinion, they'll show what they want to show, not what we want to watch.
Even if that means obviously stitching up the competitor.
Absolutely. That's an added bonus as far as they're concerned.
It's fascinating. So I want to get your thoughts on some of the stuff that's obviously still to come. I want to ask you first, Ian, your thoughts on this hanging Villa-Burnley fixture, which I think could go into the match week of as early as 34. So the midweek of sort of Wednesday, the 27th, roughly of April. What's your thoughts on that fixture?
It should go as early as it can.
Yeah.
I have a feeling because that midweek has already been scheduled, I think it might go for the first week of May. If they were going to put it at the end of April, why didn't they announce it with the others?
I think that the thinking is with Villa Burnley, particularly, it's the fact that they've still got to play each other on the weekend in 36.
Yeah, it's going to get in the way, isn't it? Wherever it goes, it's going to get in the way.
Well, however it works now, they're going to play each other twice in, say, 10 days.
What they should have done is put that game instead of Burnley v Southampton.
Yes, I know. But that was
we all know.
That was down to Sky.
Sky. Yeah. We'll show what we want.
Why have they done that then? Why? Because they've dropped other games this season, but they kept that one, Burnley versus Southampton, and a standalone on the Thursday night. Why have they done that when there's other fixtures that they have dropped? I can't think of an example off the top of my head now, but I know they have dropped fixtures from the rescheduled
There's still
ones.
a couple that could still be dropped moving forward. I can't give you a good answer to that. They must think that they know that can be a game on a Thursday. They want that particular game, and it probably means that something else gets bumped further down the line that they can then show. Because that's one thing I don't fully understand about how these rescheduled fixtures at the end of 36 and 37 go. Because they've still got 2 Chelsea games, I think, scheduled. Is it Chelsea v Leicester and Chelsea v Leeds?
They've got the rights for both, yeah.
And I think they might drop them so they can show something at a more convenient time. Because I think what they really want at the end of the season is to show matches every day if they can. That's been a Sky thing for years.
Yeah.
I think when they first started, because they like to put big games, if they can, on FA Cup semi-final week and FA Cup quarter-final week. So they know likelihood they're going to get kicked back. Because I think what they really want to hark back to is the 1989 Liverpool v Arsenal, where it was like a midweek game where everybody was watching on the telly. That's what Sky want. Big midweek games.
We've had a few, haven't we? I mean, it doesn't work out that way sometimes, but people are looking at, say, the Tottenham Arsenal fixture this year in terms of fourth, possibly.
That's why it's been left
there
late.
Was the City Tottenham one, I obviously remember in 2010 was like the final Wednesday before the season finished and stuff.
You had Chelsea beat City, didn't they, to give Liverpool the title? That was a midweek game.
That's gone way back, all the way back, I think, to probably 99, when I remember they had Leeds Arsenal on the Tuesday and Blackburn Man United on the Wednesday. And that was after having Tottenham Chelsea on the Monday. Exactly what you said. If they can have 5-6 days on a row.
That's what they want if they can, yeah.
But isn't it a bit complicated this year, the fact that the Europa League final is the midweek before the season ends?
Well, that means you're not going to get a match on the Wednesday. So I don't think they'll be allowed.
So Sky can't do it anyway, can they?
No, but I think they can get Friday. Saturday they won't get, because that'll be BT or nobody. Sunday will be Sky. Monday will be Sky. Tuesday will be Sky. Wednesday will be nothing. I think Thursday will be Sky.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the Tuesday, Thursday, 100%. Yeah. Do you think all those match week 37 fixtures currently are penciled in for the Sunday?
Yeah,
that's to give the idea of the FA Cup final being a standalone on the Saturday.
Correct.
But it won't be, will it?
It won't be. No, there'll be a match on a Friday.
Probably, yeah.
There'll be a match on Saturday, and I think what they'll do, they'll schedule. Again, this where we come back to Sky and BT again. So we go back to the original premise, and we have City v Newcastle on week 36.
Yeah.
The BT game.
Yeah.
Then we get to week 37. Sky first pick. They're going to pick Liverpool again. Liverpool v Southampton. And BT can't then pick City because they'll be up to 6 on their quota.
Yeah.
So what they'll do, they'll pick Man United v Chelsea because they're both up to 5.
Okay.
So that'll be a second pick. That means that Sky with a third pick can pick West Ham v City, and they can schedule it exactly the same time as Liverpool v Southampton, because they know that only one of those matches will go ahead because the other team will be in the FA Cup final.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And they have done that before.
Yep.
That makes sense.
The BT game, Man United v Chelsea, will be scheduled for Saturday lunchtime because it's BT's slot. And I think what they'll probably do is schedule Villa v Palace for exactly the same time slot.
Do you think United Chelsea would definitely be the BT pick? I mean, that would sound obvious, but could they go down the route of something like Everton versus Brentford and think it might mean more?
No, they don't care what means more. They go with the big teams.
I get it, yeah.
So I think they'll schedule Villa v Palace for 12:30 on Saturday.
So on that basis then, and I'm reading between the lines here, and there's possibly, apologies to Sky listeners, possibly a little bit of an FPL head just entered me based on you saying that. Would United Chelsea being a BT pick, if that gets postponed because Chelsea make the FA Cup final, which is likely, does that mean it's more likely to be brought forward to 36 then?
If it's a BT pick and Chelsea beat Real Madrid, I think it'll be brought forward because BT will insist on having a single day.
What's the difference of Chelsea winning or losing?
Because Chelsea have got extra games to play.
Yeah, but couldn't they still have Leeds and Leicester in 37 twice, or 37 and 35?
They could. And I think the way that I've looked at it, all depends on who reaches the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Is I think if it's Man City v Chelsea, I think the Man United Chelsea TV game will be on the Tuesday, the 17th of May.
Okay.
But
so
I think
that's the one afterwards, isn't it?
So that's the one afterwards.
Yeah. After the final.
And I think for every other scenario, so if it's Liverpool v Chelsea in the FA Cup final, I think that where did I put that?
So I know what you're thinking here, Ian, and I think this is the difference between
It's going to be a Wednesday.
A City Chelsea final and a Liverpool Chelsea final is you're thinking presumably that because of West Ham's current involvement in Europe, they've got to put Wolves City back at the end.
That'll be go back at the end of 37.
Yeah, I'm of the same thinking of yourself. If they're going to announce these prior to Europe quarterfinals ending and the FA Cup semis, if they're going to go early, it has to go back. Yeah. But obviously, if Liverpool were in the cup final, they then obviously wouldn't play the midweek of 37. That opens the United Chelsea door for the Tuesday. I get that.
Yeah, I think that's the case. So it'll definitely be on BT, and it'll either be the Wednesday, the 11th, or Tuesday, the 17th.
If Chelsea do lose to Real Madrid,
Yep.
we presuming they're going to probably have a single game day in between 35 and 36. And we're obviously talking match weeks here rather than Sky weeks. And what would you favour to go first? Leeds?
I think it'd be Leeds.
Yeah.
Because Leicester are likely to still be in Europe.
Yeah.
Well, they've got a chance of being in Europe anyway.
And obviously, if the United game's picked up for TV, that's definitely staying 36 or 37 one way or the other, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, get that completely, mate. So if we're saying, let's work on the basis, Ian, that you're a clever bastard and you're right, and City and Liverpool are both on the Saturday in match week 36. What's the other TV fixtures in your opinion that weekend?
There'll be something on the Friday. I think it possibly be something like Palace v Watford.
Everyone's thrilled by that prospect, mate. Okay.
Because it can be, and it could be the one that gets Watford down. It could be the one that sees them safe. So it's got something on it.
Why specifically is that one that can be? Why can't it be just hypothetically Brentford versus Southampton, for example?
It could. And I think if they won a Monday game, it's quite likely it'll be Brentford v Southampton.
Yeah, I'm winning. I feel like I'm getting Glyn your brain a little bit.
And I think the other TV games will be Arsenal v Leeds and Brighton v Man United. So I think Leicester v Everton and Norwich v West Ham have got a chance of being TV as well. And I think they'll also likely be the Sunday, especially if Leicester and West Ham qualify in Europe.
I just wonder if another one, Everton, because of the size of the club and their involvement at the bottom at the moment.
Everton will definitely be on at least once. You guarantee it.
Would there are other fixtures? Liverpool 34, Chelsea 35. I'm guessing. Is the Chelsea game on in 35? I feel like it probably is. Should have checked notes.
I haven't got 35 up.
But I imagine the Leicester game.
It is, because it's one that might get moved back if Chelsea are in Champions League.
It is, yeah. Sunday the 1st of May currently is Everton, Chelsea and West Ham, Arsenal.
That's right.
But again,
and then the Monday game is Brentford, Man United, isn't it? And that's guaranteed to be a Monday.
That's guaranteed to stay. So the Sunday, you think possibly Arsenal, Leeds and maybe
Arsenal, Leeds and Brighton, Man United. Yeah. And I think we've also got a chance of Leicester v Everton and Norwich v West Ham.
Yeah.
And I think if they're going to have a Monday game, I don't think they will, because I think Brentford v Southampton shouldn't really have anything going on it. And the only reason I've selected that one, because I don't think either Brentford or Southampton would play the following midweek.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. Obviously, they definitely won't have a midweek fixture in 36. We know that.
So if they want one on a Monday, they can put it there.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's every chance they'd end up with a game Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, isn't there? So they may not be, let's put Brentford, Southampton there. That said, if Brentford do have bad results over the next 4 or 5,
could go in. I mean, and Sky won't turn down a chance to put yet another game on if they can.
What's the amount of games they have now?
See the 3 or 4 they have per week. But with the reschedules, they've got
games in hand, have they?
Games in hand, if you will. And they've still got, like I say, they've got that 2 Chelsea games that if they think I don't need to show those, they can show something else. And I don't fully understand the time slots that they're allowed to show those in. They could probably put them where they like.
I would imagine so. What do you mean by that in terms of the times?
So normally they're allowed to show games on Friday night or Monday night, Saturday night, and 2 on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But if these midweek games that are rescheduled and they don't want them, does that mean they can pick a different slot to show a game in? I guess it must do.
Do you mean like add a Saturday 8 o'clock, for example?
Yeah, or
they
put a Friday and a Monday.
Years ago.
Or they could have had. We've had 3 games on Sundays before, haven't we? 12 o'clock, 2:15, and 4:30.
Yeah.
So there's every possibility that they can. They'll definitely show as many games as they can get away with. They won't shortchange. What was it, £2 million a game now or something? Is it
something
6 million, something like that?
Off the
it's
charts,
crazy
mate.
Money. So if they're paying that much, they're going to show them all, aren't they?
We're saying 2 or 6 million and we're just dropping it in the ocean like 4 million difference. So what?
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, it is like that now for the Premier League clubs. Interesting. And what do you think about that weekend of 37 with a cup final scheduled? I realize that's more difficult at the moment because there's obviously the company has
well, I
four
think
fixtures.
there'll definitely be a Friday game.
Okay.
And I think it'll be Leeds v Brighton. The reason being
why?
that none of them have played in the previous midweek.
Okay, similar. Yeah, I get you thinking. Yeah.
So
is that the only one?
I think so, yeah. Assuming the matches I think are going in midweek go ahead, then that's the only one that can go on the Friday.
Yeah, I'm trying to scan the games as quickly as possible, and I think you're probably spot on. You are spot on there, Ian. Yeah, that's the only one that would work on the Friday. I guess Leeds might still have something to play for, obviously.
They might, yeah.
Particularly maybe even if the Chelsea game's held back to the 37
to the following week.
Yeah, possibly. Okay.
Then I think the Saturday lunchtime will be Man United v Chelsea and Aston Villa v Palace. I think they're scheduled both of those at 12:30, so one can play. If it's Villa v Palace, I don't think they'll be on the TV in the UK, but there's plenty of worldwide rights that will still show that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a key time for Far East, isn't it?
Do you don't think there's a chance they'll move 3 or 4 games to that Saturday then?
I don't see why they would.
Well, I guess one thing that would maybe be if they're going to stack the Tuesday in the midweek afterwards.
I think Tuesday's pretty much standalone.
It would have the opposite, where we've had games scheduled like on a Thursday and games have moved back to the Sunday. This would be the opposite. Go Tuesday and bring forward to the Saturday.
I think they'll only put them on lunchtime unless they have something late. They won't want anything at 3 o'clock on that Saturday if the FA Cup finals are 5:15. They'll just get in the way.
Yeah.
And I doubt they'll want one at 7:45 after the cup final.
No, I mean, it could go to extra time and stuff as well anyway.
So I think the rest of the matches will be on a Sunday apart from one. And I think the Monday night game will be Newcastle v Arsenal. Because I don't think any of them will be playing in the following midweek. And it could be a game that gets Arsenal 4th.
Why is your confidence like mine is that Tottenham and Arsenal will be in the midweek of 36 on its own rather than on its own in 37?
Because I don't think it can get on its own in 37.
That's the same answer I've got. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to check we're on the same lines because presumably the Chelsea hanging fixtures, obviously subject to the cup final. We've spoken about the Wolves Manchester City problem as well. I think.
And you've also got one of Liverpool v Southampton and West Ham or Wolves v Manchester City has got to be moved. And if the Man United Chelsea game is moved, and you've only got 2 days to play with, Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be a big game for Sky that Thursday on 36. Because how many games are left there's only 2 left for both Tottenham and Arsenal after that, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right.
There's no spares hanging around after that. So, yeah, if that's within 4 or 5 points of each other, that's a big game.
I wonder if they might on that Sunday, if they've got all them games in hand, do something like 12-2-4-6. If they've got games in hand to show, if they could do that as a quadruple header on a Sunday, maybe even. They've never done it before.
And include one on a Monday.
Yeah. The way you're saying it, it sounds like we'll probably be left with 7 fixtures on the Sunday?
Well, you're going to lose at least 2 for the cup final.
Oh, of course, that's true. So maybe 5.
One for the Friday, one for the Monday.
Yeah. So all 4 on the Sunday then?
Could be.
I doubt it.
More likely 12, 2:15 and 4 if they want 3.
So obviously, if they did spread the games like that, there's scope to show nearly all the games that exist in that match week, actually.
Yeah.
Interestingly. I don't think it would be quite to that extent, but I think probably as it stands, every fixture in 37 could have something on it at the moment. If it was selected now, you could make a case for, and there isn't one game there you'd go, that's a definite dead rubber. There's always some relegation or European involvement for one of those fixtures in 37. Yeah. It won't be by the time it comes round, obviously.
No. But they'll have to pick before then, won't they? Because that's the other thing. When are they going to make these decisions? It should be done next Monday, but we both know that ain't going to happen.
Yes. We do, don't we?
Yeah, of course we do.
The TV fixture schedule is scheduled to be announced on Monday. I'm certain that it won't be.
Absolutely.
Do you think, though, wouldn't a sensible play at the moment be that they just announced the weekends?
Yeah, they might announce some of the weekends with some ifs and ands and buts and maybes.
I just feel like the whole Chelsea situation
That's
really,
the one that's getting in the way, isn't it?
Yeah, it means they can't commit everything into
No.
their plans basically for the midweeks. We've got to wait for what Chelsea do with Real Madrid to know
Correct.
if Chelsea are going to play in 34 will be too short notice in that match week. In 35, in between their fixtures with Everton and Wolves, 2 weeks notice. Look, Chelsea will take it rather than have to play twice in 3 days.
Of course they will, yeah.
That's the inevitability. And it's definitely that, isn't it, Ian? Because I keep getting questions about could they have like 3 games in match week 36? There's no chance of that.
No
chance.
It's
got to be Tuesday and
2 in
Thursday
37.
on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Because it can't be the week before, because if they're in that situation, it's because they've got to the FA Cup final.
Correct.
They're not going to make them play on the Thursday. They're not going to make them play on the Thursday for the cup final, are they?
No chance. No chance
exactly
at all.
That. Okay, interesting. I want to ask you, Ian, single game days a little bit, if I can. So we've got one next Wednesday, and I haven't got a clue who's in your team and who isn't. You're probably going to sit there and go, I got Nick Pope, James. It's not a problem.
I wish I had. I will have.
Are you going to buy him?
Yep.
I think I've got to as well. This can it be passed up, or is it the fact that Villa fixtures lingering? The Southampton game's definitely
already
Thursday.
in. Yep.
He's got to come in, isn't he?
It's an option as well for the Sunday down the line when they play West Ham.
That's right. Yeah, we discussed that. Newcastle, Leicester. There won't be a lot of ownership currently. Yeah. Although it is a good dive on for Leicester particularly.
Well, yeah.
I've actually got Leicester penciled in for the Sunday before, actually, when they played Palace. But
yeah, I've got Leicester looking at towards the end of April. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go yet, but I've definitely got it penciled in. I've actually got Newcastle penciled in for Sunday.
This one coming?
Yeah.
Who's you thinking?
The foreign lad begins with a G.
Bruno Guimaraes.
Guimaraes, that's it. Yeah, and I'm looking at Coutinho out.
Yeah, makes sense. We spoke about this last week. The obvious hop-offs with Villa, Wolves, Leeds because of the blank in 33, subject to what you're going to. So I think like it's probably wait a week if you're going for Leicester. Otherwise, yeah, you can target all 4 of them clubs playing on Sunday. There's even a case to Everton player. If you want it out there, you've got Sunday and then the captaincy Wednesday. But Pope's
I think I'm going that way because at the minute I've got Sarr, and I was really miffed when they put the Burnley v Everton this week rather than the following week. Yeah. So I could have had Sarr, then Pope v Norwich, and then had him in for the Everton game. So yeah, I'm going to have to make the move. I definitely want Pope, and I think I'll be keeping Pope up until first weekend of May. Is my current thinking. I might even keep him longer term than that.
Yeah, it depends the way it falls, doesn't it?
Depends the way the fixtures falls. I've made a plan. I took Trent out last Saturday and I brought in Ben White because I made a plan that had me with Mendy coming in May and I needed the cash.
Yep. It's unlike you to get it planned out, Ian, let's be honest.
Oh, absolutely.
I must say,
one
of the things we said recently was that obviously that Burnley-Everton fixture, which I think many of us thought was going to be the midweek afterwards, I said that everybody was up in arms. Actually, that's not true. The only person I heard was up in arms was Ian, and everybody agreeing with him because nobody else understood why it was so important. Yeah, I think I'm still going to buy him on next Wednesday as well. We'll see when we get there, but yeah, I've got Sarr as well, and I just think because of the extra afterwards, it's worth the jump. That's obviously why you're looking at Newcastle this Sunday to then cover off the Friday.
Yeah.
So do you still deem that? And I get that completely, because to take out a player when you've got the cover for that game probably psychologically makes you think, oh, shit, I'm taking away the captain from one fixture, putting it in another. Do you psychologically think, oh, I've got to get another one? Admittedly, Newcastle have got a run of fixtures where you can look at them.
Well, it was more their fixture run and the lack of run for Villa, because their only game that I think I'm going to be missing is the home game with Tottenham. Yeah, which isn't a great game. I mean, he might score a hat trick. He might not.
It might be. Listen, I watched Coutinho against Arsenal. I bet he's man of the match against Tottenham, mate.
Harry Kane will be man of the match.
Every week. Talking of which, just while we were on it and we mentioned him, Captain Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's not a doubt about that at the moment.
No. No,
fine.
no.
We won't over debate that. What would you say to people who haven't got him on Sunday? It's probably still a go and buy, isn't it? There's a case
Absolutely.
There's a case to go Salah to Kane Sunday if you haven't got, isn't there?
Yes.
It must be.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll cover that. Saturday captain, does he stand?
Depends who's playing.
Yeah. What if none of them are playing? Like I've got Salah and Trent at the moment. I'm probably going to go Trent to Cancelo on Saturday, I think.
Right.
Don't ask me why I sold him, Ian. It's a stupid story.
I sold him and bought him back.
Well, it looks like I'm doing the same, mate. If Salah's not playing, and I assume Trent won't be, I'll probably be captaining Cancelo, I guess.
I think I will be as well.
Keeping my fingers crossed that he plays. Is there anything else you'd fancy on the day? I've got a number of other players playing, but I wouldn't fancy sticking the armband on any of them, I don't think.
I don't think I would. No.
At Chelsea, have you got Chelsea coverage?
No. I might have on Saturday. That's part of a plan, but again, I'm not certain it's going to be this Saturday that I'll do it.
Okay.
I've got 4 moves planned in April, which is Pope in, Newcastle in, Liverpool defender in, and Chelsea defender in.
Yeah,
that's my plans. And I could go for Rudiger on Saturday, but I might not. I might leave it till the following week.
And as you said, you're looking to leave Leicester later by the sounds of it.
Yeah. I'm not. Okay. I haven't got Leicester in any of that plan yet.
Does that mean you're on that Sunday we mentioned you're potentially captain Guimaraes that West Ham Burnley day, Sunday the 17th? Maybe. Okay,
that's another reason for bringing him in.
Yeah, as I said, there's a case for definitely bringing anybody Sunday wise. I think Rudiger versus Cancelo might be where it falls for a lot of people on Saturday if Salah doesn't start. He did miss a penalty for Egypt, by the way.
So didn't he? Apparently,
he has played 120 minutes and he did sky the penalty, and they've gone out to Senegal, got their own back for the AFCON final. Would you go Cancelo over Rudiger at the weekend? You know, Rudiger's going to play.
I'd have to buy Rudiger. So if Salah's not,
if you had both, if
I had both, I'd probably go for Rudiger because I think it's going to play.
Yeah.
And if Salah doesn't play, that might be my temptation to go for Rudiger. So I know I've got a captain.
It might well be for me, and I may well be buying Rudiger and Cancelo on Saturday. I don't like Saturday moves, but
have we both got the same team or something?
I don't think so. Ian, what's your rank at the moment?
188.
We definitely ain't got the same team, mate. Monday, what have you got? Palace and Arsenal at the moment.
I have White and Saka.
And you presumably because of the ownership, you go Saka, would you?
I would have thought so, yeah.
Yeah,
I fancy Palace to score, to be honest.
I haven't got him, and because I'm further behind, I'm like 560 or something at the moment. I'm tempted just to keep going without. But as we mentioned last week, even say if Salah does play on Saturday, Saka's got like a 5v2 over Salah. The 2 Salah games,
and that 2 isn't very good, is it?
Well, it's Man City and Man United, yeah.
Yeah.
If you've got the secondary player, a Trent or something like that, Van Dijk.
Yeah.
You could go without, absolutely. But I think Saka will be clearly the most popular Monday. Paul McNaughton would be captain Saka on Monday, wouldn't he?
You would have thought so.
Yeah.
I
think that's how we always determine who's going to be the most popular captain. Right, that's who Paul's. If Paul says he's captain, that's the man choice.
That's the one to go for.
Absolutely.
That's not my forte, picking captains.
What do you
know when I haven't got a choice? If there's no choice, I prefer that.
It's easy, isn't it? Just looking at Sunday and going, Kane.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Move on and not make the choice. I suffer similar problems. I want to touch just briefly a bit more on single game days, because by the sounds of what you're saying, there are a few more that are.
Yeah.
Like Brighton, Leeds. There's every chance those who've got Rafinha,
we've
like
got
me,
4
might
scheduled
be
in
off.
April, haven't we?
Yeah.
There's 4 already, and I think there could be 9 in May, and that's without anything that comes of Leicester or West Ham or Chelsea going out of Europe.
Yeah.
So we could be 10 or 11.
Yeah.
So, and some will be great teams, some will be less so.
Are you okay to share how many transfers you've got left?
More than a dozen, less than a dozen and a half.
Good man. More than most, I would suggest. So
Probably.
Is your idea, I feel, is to cover them all?
Yes. And they'll be the ones that I'm looking for a bit of differential action.
How often do you miss a captaincy? How often do you look at one and go, I'm not having that?
Not all that often. I think we're going to have 125 match days this year. I bet I've missed 3.
Okay, it's 3 more than me. I've got a real problem.
Yeah, I don't mind missing one if I don't like it and it's not doing me any good.
I think I discussed it quite a bit last week, and shout out to our mate Luke, Disabled, give us some great feedback on that. And yeah, I need to skip a few next year. I haven't, since I've played the game, I don't think I've missed one, Ian. I've got to let it go. I've got a problem because my brain works a little bit like you in terms of I can see the picture, not quite to the detail that you can. I can see them issues. I'm sitting there with Ward Prowse and I'm looking, I'm going, there's 3 or 4 issues there maybe, and I might just end up carrying him through because he's the sort of player that ticks over. I don't really need him, especially if I'm going to go and buy Pope on Wednesday, for example. It's nothing to me. But then I'll look at it and regret it if that Southampton Brentford lands on that Monday night, for example, and think it's 2 transfers again, and I'll have to go and cover it. And it might be that the position I'm in, it might be a good practice for me before the end of the season to go, do you know what, James? Let one go. Do it now when it doesn't matter. So you're ready to know what it feels like.
So you can do it again next year. Do you remember the back end of last year? Season was over and it was a Friday night game, Newcastle v Man City.
Oh, do I remember? Yeah.
That was the one, wasn't it? And guess who I went for?
Ferran Torres is not who you went for.
No, I went for Mad Max.
Mad Max. St. Maximin?
Yeah.
I think...
I mean, that was a 50-pointer, wasn't it?
Who was in goal? I think I bought whoever was in goal for Newcastle. Who was it? Dubravka? It probably was. It was Dubravka or Darlow.
Darlow, yeah.
And actually, I mean, obviously they conceded 4 that night, but they had 2 more clean sheets afterwards. So I did actually get 18 points. You got the
points later, didn't you? Because Cancelo had a good game that day as well. But then he got sent off the next game.
Honestly, I remember being on our Slack channel and everybody was like, who should I go for? And it was loads of discussion. It was like, do you know what? Just pin the towel on the donkey.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone went for Torres.
I was in and I just went the wrong way. And that didn't cost me cash because I wasn't close enough. I finished 62nd, I think, last year. So that could have easily been top 20.
Where would you hope to finish from here?
Oh, around about the same as last year, I imagine.
Which was?
62nd.
Okay.
I'll be aiming. I've still not given up all hope of winning some cash in some cash leagues.
Okay.
It's going to need a bit of luck. And that's what I'm hoping for with these transfers and the single game days, is just to land on a couple.
At what point would you say to someone now you can't finish top 100? Be kind, Ian.
Be kind.
Say like 600th.
Yeah. Well, if you've got enough transfers, you can. You've got 25 game days roughly still to play, I think, haven't we?
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of them are grinding up template. Like we're using examples like, I mean, if Salah does start Saturday and Kane's obviously starts Sunday, it's like the weekend's dead already again.
Yeah, you're not making your gains there. But I've made a few with non-captaincy players. I know you score 55% of your points as a captain, but that still gives 45% that's your non-captain players.
Yeah. You
get the right ones in at the right time, playing well. I mean, I had Son instead of a Chelsea defender. It's gone great guns.
This is
and he's still in the team.
Somewhere, because I've got Sonny as well. Somewhere along the line, me and you think the same. I just make the wrong choice compared to you at some point, I think, mate.
Yeah. Not all the time, I'm sure.
No, I went for Sonny as well. You bought him the night we played Everton, did you?
Yes, right, yeah.
Yeah. Why am I not surprised? Okay, yeah. No, seriously, what do you think? Top 100. Let's say you got 10 left.
You're going to want to be within 10 transfers left. Say the person you're captain's got 5. You're going to want to be within 100 points and hope for the best, aren't you?
All right, okay. And for those further afield, you can still make big gains if you've got the transfers left.
Oh, you
if you're outside
can,
the top 1,000.
Yeah. If you've got transfers left in hand, you can game hand over fist. I think I made about 400 places in the last year.
I'm pretty sure the first season I played, which was the year we shut down with COVID, I finished about 250th, I want to say. And I don't think I got into the top 1,000 until there was about 3 weekends to go.
Yeah.
I'd loads of transfer. And obviously it was like every single game days at the end. I had loads of transfers left as well. So
was that the Antonio season of 4-0 at Norwich?
Yeah, and I didn't have him.
You didn't?
No. I know, could have been better, couldn't it?
Wow.
I don't think, maybe I did. I definitely didn't in FPL. Maybe I did have him in Sky. Was it the only game?
Yeah, it was a Friday night game.
No, it was Saturday lunchtime, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, definitely Saturday lunchtime. 100%.
Oh, it wouldn't have been the only game then.
No, probably. What I don't think I did, Ian. Anyway, that's
by the by.
I can tell you, Suj definitely didn't have him.
You should know better.
you don't know what he said on the pod the week before, because everyone was buying him in FPL when he told everyone, no, he looks too tired, mate. We cut it into the intro the following week.
Nice.
I'd love to ask you, Ian, thank you so much for your time. A few questions before we obviously finish. There's a few people want to get your thoughts on a few things. Obviously, he says, having lost the tweet, of course. Right, let's have a quick look through. Come on, James, in your own time. Let's get a question for Ian. Where's your tweet, James? This is why I leave it to Sujian. Right.
Fair enough.
Who's first on the doors? SkyFF Bruno. How are you so good at saving transfers, and how do you decide whether to skip a single game day or not? Which we part covered. But what's the choice when you're skipping a single game day? What is it that makes you skip? Because I think, for example, I know Newcastle got fixtures now, but if Newcastle Wolves was dropping in January, is that the sort of one you look at and go, I don't need that? Or do you still think that Wolves defensively, I can have a look, for example?
Probably don't look at that game in isolation. I'll probably look at it over a 2-month period.
Okay.
Because I use the planner, and then the way that I use it is to make the most expensive team that I think I'm going to need, and wherever that lies, and then work backwards and forwards from there. And if I can't get to a particular person for a particular fixture, I'll just give it a miss.
Okay.
But the other way to look at it now, if you might use somebody as like a hop on and then move to someone else.
Yeah.
The days of like 2-for-1s and 3-for-1s are probably old hat now. We're all chain moving to somebody else.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons I'm bringing Gramaris in, because he'll do a job for me for those 4 games. Then I'll move him to somebody else. And he'll probably be the Leicester midfielder.
Okay. And I'm going to guess you're probably looking at that, after Newcastle play Norwich, maybe, sort of Sunday 24th.
Yeah, just before Newcastle play Liverpool, I think. If that sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Leicester are guaranteed that Saturday, aren't they? Saturday 23rd.
Yeah, and it might be they get Sunday. Might get a Sunday afterwards.
Yes, you're quite right. So you probably take in the Liverpool game, and then Leicester go to Tottenham Sunday the 1st. If Leicester,
if that's how it works. Yeah.
Okay. Banking on Leicester winning Europe, dangerous.
Very.
And there's a dangerous question for you, and I don't know if you'll know the answer, Ian. Clean Sheet Wipeout says, which teams do you believe will have the most single game days, and do we need to cover them? So who do we think's got the most?
The most
left? Could it be Arsenal? I'm thinking we got Palace.
They've got
the Tottenham
Palace.
game.
Tottenham game will be one.
You think maybe
Newcastle
the Newcastle the Monday night?
Yeah, that's 3. I think they might be.
United have got. Well, United have got a few. They've got Liverpool, Brentford, maybe the Chelsea game.
If that's a Saturday. It could even be a single if it's a Wednesday. Liverpool are going to have 2. They're not, Villa and Man United.
Well, Burnley are going to have Everton, Southampton, possibly Villa.
And that's without anything else popping in.
Yeah. So actually, the sensible answer is probably Burnley, isn't it?
And if it is Burnley, you definitely want it covered, because the world and his wife will have Pope.
Would you reckon 90+% come Thursday morning for Pope next week? Obviously,
it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think it'd be absolutely massive. I think.
Yeah.
Phantom Mantle says, rank these things in order of importance if you're selecting a player from now for the running: fixture volume, fixture quality, fixture importance, or number of single game days. You got fixture volume, quality, and importance, and the number of single game days. What's a priority for you?
I'll be looking at player quality, really.
Nice, like that as an answer.
It'd be the player first. Whether it was a short or long term. Is he sent to the end of the season?
It's for the running, yeah.
Right, okay. So it'd be the player quality first, then it'd be the quality of the team, and then it'd be the quality of their fixtures. And if they had extra fixtures, all well and good. But I think I'd rather have 5 good fixtures than 6 mediocre ones.
What have you seen in Bruno that's making you want to buy him?
Price, bonus, tackle and passing, and the extra games. And he fits my budget.
Newcastle player passing tiers, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I
Only
wouldn't
the
be
last
surprised against
game.
Wolves, particularly if Neves is still out as well, actually.
Yeah, so he got it in the last game against Everton. I know it's Everton. I don't know. It's a bit of a hunch.
Mind you, that game went on for like 24 hours, didn't it, as well? I don't know if that helps at all. Who would you say? This is from DB, and I'll shorten the question. If you could have one Liverpool defender for the running, which one?
Van Dijk.
Definitely.
Going to play every game, isn't he?
I know Trent's injured, but when he's fit, is he not?
Probably, but he's going to miss this one.
Yeah.
So I would say Van Dijk.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I always seem to be on the wrong side of Trent. Whenever I don't have him, he seems to be doing bits. And when I do, this feels like Van Dijk's a 10-point monster every week and Trent's attacking returns dry up. But as soon as I'm without him, it's like, oh, God.
He's one you don't often want to be without, is he? But if he's injured, then there's your chance to move him on. Do you reckon a load of people will keep him next week then?
Trent?
Yeah.
It might come down to transfers and stuff for a little bit, I think. But I mean, there is a case to be honest, if Trent and Salah are not in the Liverpool team Saturday, and we have to assume that Trent definitely won't be at this stage, there is certainly a case to be moving off. But I think even if they did play, there's arguably a case to move off anyway.
Yeah.
There is a case to move off of Liverpool, City, Chelsea players completely following Saturday and just dive into what you want of those teams playing Sunday, Monday, Wednesday.
And then get them all on the midweek.
And then come back to them after the FA Cup semi-finals. Yep, there really is a strong case for that. Plus,
my Liverpool plan is to come back either for United on the Tuesday or Everton if that's the Sunday.
Yeah, if Everton's the Sunday, then that's the point. So, I mean, I used the Saka example, which I know a lot of people will have. But yeah, Saka, Palace, Brighton, Southampton, Chelsea, Man United. There's definitely at least one captaincy in there. Obviously, the Monday game against Palace. And you're missing Salah against City and Liverpool. City and United, sorry.
City and United, yeah.
So, I mean, there's strong case to be moving off.
This is where having these transfers left now helps.
Yeah.
Because if you make 5 games, say Salah scores 10 points in the 2 games, he might not. And as Saka gets 30, and you've got 8 of those as a captaincy, that's 36, isn't it?
I think one that will be really popular Sunday is Son. I think a lot will come and join us, Ian. Because I'm looking at that and going, Salah to Son, you've got Newcastle, Villa, Brighton, just dive in the 3, go straight back for the Man United game on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
You only miss, obviously,
you've only missed one
Man City game.
Yeah.
I think, Son will be quite popular for the double up, I think, on Sunday. QChar Design says, which defense block for the rest of the season with Champions League rotation possible for the big boys? So I realize you wouldn't be doing that right now, but if you were sitting there with a block that had to sit dead for the rest of the season, which one would you want?
It'd be Arsenal, Chelsea, wouldn't it? Number of fixtures for Arsenal, quality of defence for Chelsea, and the price you can get them in at.
Yeah, fair. Dav says, if no Trent this weekend, would you contemplate going to Son and not having any Liverpool defenders for a few weeks? Yeah. Dave's simple goal. Dave Perrin's having a brilliant season this year.
Isn't he just, Dave?
Yeah. And he's such a lovely bloke as well. I don't think he's going to win it now, the poor bastard. But yeah, Dave, I'm backing you, mate. He says it's a little way off, but what are your thoughts on Man United versus Brentford single game day?
That'll be what I'm hitting.
Yeah, that's a definite by a Manchester United player.
Yeah, I don't know who I'm hitting it with yet, but that's a definite hit. That's what I'm hoping for, like, I don't know, 2 assists, a goal and a man of the match from somebody.
Well, they've got one. In any case, you get a 3 for 0 as a minimum, where you've got the Brentford game, the captaincy, the Saturday lunchtime against Arsenal, and then move straight off if you want to. Or obviously, subject to where the Chelsea fixture is maybe going to fall. Depends whether maybe you keep to the end or you come off a little bit later. But yeah, I think that's
definitely an attacking one, isn't it? I think
that's a definite by Manchester United player that night as well.
It's at home as well, isn't it? United.
It is at Old Trafford, yeah.
Yeah, Monday night, nice weather, bank holiday, good crowd.
Bruno Fernandes one last time, maybe. We'll all end up buying Harry Maguire, won't we? Because it's all we'll be able to afford. We'll all go back. It'll be come off Pope and go for De Gea.
Get the hair in again, yeah.
It could be that, Ian. A couple from FPL Bruno 2 says, best Neves replacement.
Kulusevski.
Oh, I love that, Ian. He's an absolute diamond. I think he'd be so popular at the moment if it wasn't for the two up front. I really do. He's a great price, offers brilliant value for this game.
He'll be dearer next year, won't he?
What about people with Jacob Ramsey at the moment?
He's a keeper.
He's in 50% of teams. That's just to leave dead and play with 10 players, basically, right?
Well, he's doing all right for what he's got as well, isn't he? He'll cover you a captaincy if that Villa Burnley game goes in. And we've moved off Pope.
We haven't.
Oh, fair enough. Depends when it goes.
Yeah, but if it's the week before United Brentford, we'll buy De Gea afterwards, aren't we? Mind you, how many Burnley fit? 1, 2, 3, or 5? I'm just looking. If that Villa fixture goes in now, you've got Everton, Norwich, West Ham, Southampton, Villa, Wolves, Watford, and then come off before. I think you probably miss Villa, Tottenham, and whatever Burnley's last game is as well. To be honest, I bet when it comes round, that will be nearer a popular pick.
Absolutely.
And just last one, I know you've covered it already, in FF Thinker, how many single game days do we think likely to get arranged in May specifically?
I think 9, definite.
Yeah.
And depending on what happens with Chelsea and or West Ham
could be
and
11.
or Leicester, up to 11.
All right. Brilliant, mate. Fantastic. How many different teams there? Don't say 22.
I hope not. No.
We got the wrong decade, mate. Ian, thank you so much for your time. Absolute pleasure. The first thing I said to Ian before we started recording is that we could go on here for about 3 hours, but I want to cut it to about an hour. Your time has been thoroughly well spent with us. We must have you on again, mate. Let everyone know where they can give you a follow, mate.
Yeah, on Twitter at Planit Sky.
Good man. That's Planet with an I, not like Planet FPL with an A. Do give the guys at Hub a shout when you see them as well. Pass on my
Absolutely
regards.
Will do.
Let's sort out a beer in the summer or something. Let's make that happen.
That'd be good. Yeah.
I'll be back tomorrow in Suj's continued absence with what would be a Sky Fantasy Football blinder of a single game day. Brighton versus Norwich with FPL Seagull and FPL Badger. I think those two have got 4 points between them, I think, since the January interlull. I don't know what's happened to Brighton. Be interesting to get Sam's view on that. But other than that, just leaves me to say thanks again to Ian. Good luck this game week, everyone. Cue music, please, man child.